Hey everybody, it's Vera Wild, and this is going to be a cross-dresser product review. And this one's funny. I've actually had these a couple different versions of these for a little while now, but I didn't think I'd ever talk about it because I kind of had a hang up about what they're called. Whether it's official name or not, it's, the term that you would use to search for them on something like Amazon was one that I kind of didn't want to associate with, but then, I just thought about it. I'm like, oh, get over yourself. Just explain. People understand. So I have here a pair of panties, but they are Sissy panties. And the distinguishing feature of that is the pouch right here. Now, I've discussed wearing female underwear before, and that one of the issues is how much it is able to contain a bulge and whether or not you can tuck in it. To recap, underwear designed for women can, depending on the material and the cut, contain things more or less. It won't hold a tuck in place because the elastic isn't strong enough to do that. I've talked before about, I call them man panties, which have a little bit of room sort of in the front. This is an out and out pouch. That's right there. All that. So this is much more deliberate, and this one's obviously lacy and everything, but you can find ones that are not quite as fancy as that. I primarily use them for performance numbers myself. I have a thong one that I use in a few numbers, but the reason that I didn't want to talk about them, or I was reluctant to, as I said, they are generally referred to as sissy panties, and I was hesitant to talk about them because I don't identify as a sissy. So if you haven't seen any of my videos on terms and labels and identities, sissies is a pretty specific stripe of cross-dress. And sometimes some people who are transgender will also identify that way. Primarily, it's a cross-dressing identification, and it's a very sexualized one. Being a sissy involves a lot of elements, but it is inherently sexual in a way that cross-dressing is not necessarily. So given that I don't do this for sexual kicks, and I don't fetishize my femininity, I don't, again, absolutely no shame for anyone who does identify as a sissy. It's just not me. So, it's just a case of not wanting to be sort of labeled as something that you're not. But I think it's worth talking about these anyways, because it does a couple of interesting things. Because I think for most of us, if you're wearing women's underwear, when I say that, I mean underwear actually designed for women, i.e. not designed with the fact that you will have a bulge in mind. It's fairly common to you can kind of feel that it wasn't made for you. And for some people that's fine, it doesn't bother them. For other people, they kind of like that. But you can kind of feel like this wasn't made with me in mind. So what's nice about these is that these, and you'll find them, made out of the kinds of material that women's underwear is made out of. You can find satin ones and lace ones and all of those sorts of things. So you can have that material, you can have that cut, and you can have that sensation of everything being snug and in place. Nothing not laying right because of the bulge, because there is a special sectioned off section just for all those parts. So it can enable you to have that sensation of those fabrics in what actually feels like a correct fit. So if that's something that you would have any interest in, I would recommend looking up them. I mean, this specific one that I showed, it has a brand on it, Eiffel. I'll put that up on the screen. But, you know, there's a lot of brands of these. If you just go on Amazon and search Sissy Panties, you will find a lot of them, a lot of options. So, yeah, I wanted to talk about those in case they were something that you weren't aware existed, or if you knew but kind of wondered, like, how does that work? Is that any good? And for what they're designed for, yeah, they are quite comfortable. They are snug. They are designed to be. So I think that'll wrap up that one. So thanks for tuning in, folks. I don't get around to the cross-dressing product review stuff all that much anymore, but as stuff comes up, I'll bring it to your attention. Or if there's something you think that I should check out, feel free to send me the information on it. If I can get my hands on it cheaply, I will try and do that. So until next time.